The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania faces a yawning deficit of about $3 billion that it will have to close to balance the budget for next year. Earlier this month, Governor Tom Wolf set out to balance the books with a combination of cost cuts, consolidation, and targeted revenue increases, with things like liquor privatization and increased gaming revenue leading the list. Well, the belt tightening is likely to squeeze our region a bit, and Jen Beer is here to tell us exactly how. She's Senior Director of Government Affairs for the Greater Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce, an affiliate of the Allegheny Conference, which co-produces this program. And welcome. Good to have you.
Thank you for having me, Bill.
Yeah, so this is $3 billion. That sounds like a big number even for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
It sure is. And I'd have to say, you know, if you watched at all the governor's budget proposal last year as opposed to the last few years, it was a little bit different. As you said, $3 billion is what the governor's office is saying that we're going to see in a budget deficit. However, how he's proposing to close that gap is what's a little bit interesting compared to the last few years.
Well, he's had talked about broad-based tax increases in the past and really looking at more of the revenue side. This time he seems to be going more after the cost side, right?
Cutting costs, consolidating departments, efficiencies, measures that I think the business community and employers in our region would see as prudent measures.
Well, it's typically what most businesses would do when they're faced with a deficit or their books don't balance. Let's look at the cost side first and see if we can pick it up on the revenue as well. Implications on any of the consolidations and cost cuts that might affect our region directly?
Well, one area in particular of consolidation is the tax credit program. So the governor did propose taking all of the tax credits, putting them under one big block grant program, and cutting $100 million out of that. And of particular interest to the Allegheny Conference through our Strengthening Communities Partnership Program is the Neighborhood Assistance Program tax credit. We've been working very successfully through the SCP communities to utilize that tax credit over the past few years. It's currently at $18 million, and we've been working at the Greater Pittsburgh Chamber to try to increase that cap. And we've been working over the past few years with the legislature. So seeing that it's never been increased and that it's oversubscribed actually every year, sometimes to a tune of 30, 40, up to $50 million. So seeing that all of these tax credits are now going to be put together and cut, that's one area we're going to pay particular attention to.
Yeah, it makes it a harder sell if the total pie is shrinking to say that this particular piece that does so much good for so many communities should grow. So I guess that's the advocacy challenge in Harrisburg. How about on the revenue side? Obviously the revenue for a state usually means taxes on somebody.
Sure. Before I get into the taxes though, the governor did propose expanding gaming again and also the liquor system, building off of
more privatization of the liquor system as a way to raise money? Okay.
Yes, building off of what they had done last session. But you did mention taxes, and while we know that no broad-based taxes were really proposed, there was a 6.5% severance tax proposed.
That would be in the natural gas industry, so that would be a tax on pulling the gas out of the ground, right?
Yes. And also, I think you mentioned earlier, but the sales tax, the broadening of the base a little bit to include, among other things, businesses who purchase computer systems.
Which is just about every single business, right? Purchasing software and software services, right?
So we'll be paying particularly close attention to those two. And also on the corporate net income tax side, he proposed changes to both the structure of the tax and the rate. On the structure side, the net operating loss provision is something we've taken a close look at the conference and the chamber.
Important to startups and to bigger cyclical companies, manufacturers and others, right?
So he proposed capping it at 30%, and we've always historically said there should be no cap on that. Pennsylvania is really one of only a handful of states across the nation that caps NOLs, so it already puts us at a competitive disadvantage. And on the rate side for the CNI, he did propose reducing the rate. However, he did it in conjunction with combined reporting, and that is something that the Chamber and Compete PA have historically opposed.
A lot of companies that have operations in multiple states or national concerned about the impact on them.
Yes.
Well, a lot to look forward to, I guess, in Harrisburg. Let the battle begin, I suppose. Jen Beer from the Greater Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you
so much for the update. Yeah.
Sure.
And next up, putting more tickets in the hands of more kids through charity. We'll find out about the merger that's making it happen when our region's business returns. Stay with us.